Hi, hi, ladies and gentlemen, Makalasi here, and today I want to talk about the final step of spirituality, right? Because we all know we're on a path, and when if you were me and you were raised Catholic, we always heard that the final path is to leave and go to heaven. But let me give you a different perception from what I've learned and from what I learned from Spirit. The true end of spirituality is embodiment, right? So embodiment means embodying your prayer, embodying the Holy Spirit, embodying your teachings. So if you're a teacher, eventually you're supposed to be the embodiment of your teachings. You're supposed to be the prayer. So the first thing I asked when I woke up, I asked Spirit, what is my purpose? And they're saying you're a walking prayer. And so I assumed that I was a prayer for the the divine feminine and divine masculine to help people on their path to get resurrected, on their awakening. So which is why I'm bringing this to your attention, is because I always thought when I was waking up that heaven was separated, that I had to leave, that we had to go to heaven and we had to escape. And spirituality is not about escapism. It's really about embodiment, right? So you want to embody the Holy Spirit. That's why, or God, or bring God into you. So that's why you're going to have your body as a temple. You want to create a safe sanctuary. You want to analyze your shadow, and then you want to embody the Holy Spirit. And by embodying your spirit, you become the prayer. So eventually you're praying, trying to, help your spiritual team help you, which is like your spiritual team, and then they kind of help you prayer, and then eventually you become the prayer, and then you become the embodiment of prayer. So you're kind of like a walking prayer. And that's important to understand, because when you're a walking prayer, you don't need validation, because you are basically a lighthouse. When you're a lighthouse, you just basically stand still, and your light will bring people to you. What I want people to realize is having a big following does not mean you're more spiritual. It actually means probably the opposite, because remember, we're spiritual beings coming down to the lower world. So the lower world is going to usually be against people who are from the upper world. But what we want to do is we want more people to embody. So I'm an embodiment. I want to help you guys embodiment. The more people who embodiment, the more we raise the frequency of the earth. So what we're doing is we're embodying the Holy Spirit down here and raising the frequency. And realize too is when you're embodiment, you want embodiment, because if you pray for something, they're going to test to see if that you're worthy of that prayer, and they're going to give you that thing, and they're going to test you. The Holy Spirit will give you tests to make sure that you're worthy of what you're asking for. Because what happens once you're embodiment, you want to make sure that you're at the frequency of whatever you pray for, because if you're not at that frequency of whatever you pray for, it will go to someone else at that same frequency. So you want to pray, you want embodiment, and you want to keep your vibration high, and therefore when you embodiment, like attracts like, you will get more people who are embodiment and get more like minds. So I hope that helps. See you in the next video. Peace.